Yeah. We back. We back. I have got to learn to start hitting that live button because I did not do that at all. Yeah, I got to start learning here. So, no, I was TikTok still on the table and everything like that later on this evening. But you see it, the video. Yeah, I can't necessarily say I was coming back like this because that wasn't the intention. But yeah, so my wife and I were in the bedroom. Stop that. Get your mind out the gutter and everything like that. Stop that. No. We were having a discussion. Shout out to those of y'all that pull up and everything like that. Thank you so much. We understand what the day is. Groovy Fee, what's going on? What's going on? So me and my wife are having a discussion, and I was talking to her about something, and she said we had a guest in the living room, and I won't mention the young man's name. He's 12 years old, not knowing that. But he's the younger brother of our daughter's boyfriend. Now, he's 13. The young man in the living room is 12. So, being that father, what's going on, Big Ronnie? What's going on, Big Ronnie? Being that father, I got to go on and see who in the living room. And I look at him, nice looking young man, nice looking young man. And I say, call his name, and I say, stand up, stand up. Young man stands up, and same damn height. Now, don't do that. I'm not short. I'm 5'8.5". His family just tall. He's 12. He already 5'8.5" or whatever. I think he's 5'9". I definitely know his 13-year-old brother is 6 feet tall. So I said, what's going on? I said, oh, he said, calls me sir. I'm liking this already. What's going on, Big Ruben? What's going on? So make sure I keep up with these notes. So yeah, so I looked at him, and what I like to do whenever somebody comes into the home, young, impressionable, right? Let's go in the office. Let me bring. What's going on? I tell him what's going on. Let's go in the office. So we come in. I turn the light on and everything like that. And when you walk into my office, you have to turn around and look at the wall. Other than that, you'll just see the stuff on the other wall. You don't see this behind me. So he turns around and he sees it. He looking. Yeah, you can see it. And I said, yeah. I said, you can be superheroes too. Yeah, I know what society tells you, wants you to believe, and everything like that. Guru said, Lord have mercy. Going to be at least 6. Yeah, he gonna be. Yeah, he gonna be tall, Groovy. He gonna be tall. Like I said, his brother is 6 feet already. 13. Beautiful family, beautiful family. And so I said, yeah, you can be a superhero too. I said, speaking of superheroes, I said, have you watched Ironheart? I said, yeah. I said, what you think? He said, yeah, I liked it. I liked it, but it was good, but yeah, you can see something there, something there. And so I says to him, I said, what if I tell you there was a different story to Ironheart? Because that's not her story in the comic book. It's not. It's not. Do you know? No, sir. Once again, the no, sir. The no, sir. And while I don't want to put too much of it out there, let me just say it like this. This whole thing about us not being in our children's lives, we're not perfect. We might not be with the mother, but this whole ish about us not being in the lives of our children, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. This family, the family, well, they break all stereotypes. Let me just go ahead and say that. So anyway, so I tell him Riri's story, the comic book version. Certain parts of this, he looking, because he like, the criminal thing. Once he not understanding that, he's 12. He's 12. He ain't understanding the whole thing about Tony's involvement in her life. 2 + 2 ain't adding up to be 4 to him. He not getting it. And so I asked him after I gave him the story because he saw what the MCU gave him. He saw that. Our conversation didn't last that long. Like our conversation didn't take 6 episodes. Our conversation didn't take 6 episodes. Which version would you prefer? What I just told you? Or what you got on TV? What you just told me. So what I just told him is the better option. Right? You're not struggling financially. And this genre is supposed to be a vehicle of escapism, right? Not reminded of what you might be going through on a day-to-day basis. And heroes, in the truest sense of the word, as they're written, are supposed to be an inspiration to those of us that read them. That's what Superman is supposed to be an inspiration. That's why it's written like that. Batman is an inspiration. That's why it's written. Wonder Woman is an inspiration. Yeah. That's what they're supposed to be. Well, Riri Williams is supposed to be an inspiration. And she is, and she was written. But you don't know that though. To say you like Riri Williams' Ironheart, that's fair. That is absolutely fair. I think it's also fair that if you know the differences between the two characters, I think it's fair that you explain it to those who don't know. I think that's a fair request. I do. I could be wrong. But I think it's incumbent upon those that know, whether you got a social media platform, a podcast, a channel, or whatever. I think it's incumbent upon those that know, because not everybody's gonna say it. I like to look at superheroes as ideals, not actual. Make sure I got it. Not actual people, because they are not. Yeah, they aren't people. You're absolutely right. That's all they are. You want to be that person that doesn't resort to, if you get into a physical altercation, using that, right? You want to at the very least know you gonna stop where Bruce stopped at. That's not always a given, but that's what you're aiming for. And you want to know that if you're the strongest person in the room, it's your job, responsibility to protect the weaker people. That's what Clark is supposed to be inspiring you, Mr. Goody Two Shoes. And I'm not mad at that. I'm not. Diana, strong woman. Yes, you write your own history. You ain't answering to nobody. That doesn't mean you're you can't fall in love. No, you can still fall in love. You can with a man, watch this, who's not you. He ain't as strong as you. Yeah, he can't do, in essence, he's a weaker man. He weaker than you, but you can still love him. It don't make him no less than. Ooh, people be missing that message right now. Woo! But that was too easy. That was too easy. So I don't see how anyone can look at the story of Riri and say, yeah, that's me. Ironically enough, there are those that, and it's not for me to say one way or the other. What I'm saying is that our impressionable deserve the truth. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna own that. I'm gonna stay on that hill. I'm gonna plant that flag, and I'm not gonna move. I'm not gonna move. I'm not. I don't care who feel what. Somebody got a responsibility in this. Uh, I know mine, but I would like to think. Matter of fact, I know I ain't the only one. I'm at least counting my brother Daryl and Kamoyo. I know they got channels. I know they got channels. So I know I'm looking at two, but everybody else, because I could have easily brought him in here and said the same thing everybody else has been saying. Man, you know, everybody that don't like Riri Williams, everybody complaining about that show, you know, ain't but nothing but a bunch of haters. You know, they ain't nothing but a bunch of racists, right? I could have told him that. I could have. I'd have been no different than quite a few other people. Yep, I could have. Let me tell you the differences between the characters. But don't just stop there. Let me give you options on the table so you can go see for yourself. See that whole thing? See, you ain't worried about mentally, emotionally manipulating somebody when you tell them to go see for themselves, when you give them the option. Because see, what you telling them could just as easily be wrong. Oh no, Marvel Unlimited is an app, $9.99 a month. Understand that everything everybody tell you ain't gonna be the truth, regardless of who it come from. No, you need to be able to go get this information for yourself. Why? Because you are responsible for you 24/7. Yeah, yeah, even at the age of 12, ain't nobody else responsible for you 24/7. Can't nobody else watch you 24/7. We would like to, yes, parents, family, yeah. We would like to be able to watch over our young 24 no, we can't. They can watch them 24 hours a day, right? Well, we have to instill the knowledge in them so that they are able to truly watch over themselves when, for whatever reason, we aren't able to do so. In essence, we must start providing our children with the knowledge so they can be woke. Even when we're not around, they need to still be woke. So, get on up out of here. I ain't gonna stay too long. I know where to put my glasses at just that fast. I can't find them. What say? Let me pull back. Educating the young is always the assignment. Yeah, yeah. To me, it is. To me, it is. And I'm gonna end this slide by saying this to my grandparents, to my mother, my aunt. Thank y'all for allowing me to learn this way. You didn't tell me, no, you're going to learn this way. You said, no, if that's what it's going to take for you to learn, for you to stay out of trouble, for you, go right on ahead. So thank y'all for that. To my friends that we still converse about stuff like this, Kamoyo King and everything like that. Mr. Smith, that's my elder friend, but still elder mentor. My brother Daryl, Big Big C, and we thank y'all because we stay right here in that moment. So uh I don't necessarily have an assignment, but like Nitellum said, when you know better, you do better. We're responsible for being the reinforcement, the shaper of minds, the next generation that's coming up. Well, it ain't necessarily what it used to be back in my day. And you're like, if you're not from Gen X, baby boomer, you might not get this. See, you can sit your child in front of good times. And your child was gonna see that if another child got beside themselves on good times, that child was gonna get hammered. But also on good times, what your child could see was that if a child was being abused, the adults were going to rally behind that child and handle that business for that child. So you kind of got that on good times and everything like that. Also, just irresponsible violence against one another. No, that wasn't being encouraged on good times either. Then you can sit there and the Cosby Show. Oh, good Lord, because I don't know when the last time we seen a show grownish, blackish, where you had a husband and wife that was black in the same household. That's crazy. But you got that right. You can sit your kids down in front of the Cosby Show. You get Bill. I know. Bill got his legal issues and everything. I'm talking about the TV show. Stay focused. Stay focused. You got that good love, right? Right. Everybody. I don't even think Claire. I think Claire and Heathcliff met in college, so they were both second generation college students. Right. Right. Everybody. You had Theo. That's low key where this came from, by the way. Well, my name, well, Theo really is part of my name. I know, but no, that's where we got that. But anyway, yeah, Theo had a learning disorder. What did Theo do? Learning disorder in all. What did he do? Theo went to college and became a teacher. Lord have mercy, Jesus, fix it. And Theo wasn't always him, was he? No, Theo went through a little nerd phase, didn't he? Yeah, he did. Theo even went through his get beside himself phase. Remember that? What did his daddy tell him? What was Heathcliff known for saying? I brought you in this world, I take you out. Yeah, we don't really get that. We don't really get that. We don't get that loving wife. They like to say the black woman get on your nerves and everything like that. What was Claire doing with Heathcliff? You're not supposed to be eating that. Baby, yeah, you could say she nagging. You could. That's one way to put it. But there's another way you could spin that as well. Concern. You're not supposed to be eating that. You're not. We don't see that. That's kind of like more Riri story. Yeah, that's not Tyreek from Power. That's and if you are my generation and you know that, or hell, regardless of what generation you are, just if you possess that knowledge, you can like Ironheart. That's fair. It is your responsibility, should be, for you to tell the younger children, those that don't know any better, right? You should be able to tell them the difference. And if you're not doing so, just because you relate to that show, you're being selfish. You're not telling them the truth. You're just telling them what you like. Well, if you're their friend, you're supposed to be better than that. As parents, I would like to think we are better than that. I'm gonna get on up out of here. Like I said, I wasn't in here for a good time. Well, informative time, fun time, and everything like that. To the young man that's here, hey, you can be a hero. You can. You ain't that no. Don't let nobody tell you that that's your life. That ain't what we doing. Listen, I'm out. We doing what we do. I see we one person away from 1,300. Ooh, I don't know what type of celebration we might do. We get to 1,300. I see we one person away from 30. Can we get to 1,300 on this day? On this day, I don't know. Just this day, because some of us are barbecuing this day and everything like that. But can we get to 1,300 on this day? Ooh, we gonna see. We gonna see. Still thinking about coming y'all way on TikTok, get some music going and everything like that. Until then, in memory of the late great Don Cornelius, Chadwick Boseman, and that's the other thing. Asking the tough questions, not being afraid to ask the tough question. He asked the tough question. It didn't always work out in his favor because he asked the tough questions, but he asked the tough question. Certain things he just wasn't going to do. I'm not going to take the role where I can't drive. I'm not going to take the role where I can't swim. And I'm not going to take the role where I can't read. Because those are all stereotypical roles. Then we think about the roles he did take. Well, it was a reason why he was in Gods of Egypt. It was he was very, very specific about why he took the role in Gods of Egypt. Google it. Yeah. Folks will have you feel like you're wrong for looking at things a certain type of way. You're never finna make me feel bad about loving me some me, because clearly you love you some you. Okay, well, what other roles did he play? Mind you, that was after he asked a tough question and folks let him go. My dog just went, hey, can I ask you a question? Yeah, so you say mom, you say mom is a drug dealer? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say, you say she's strung out on drugs? Yeah, all right. Um, and you say he's basically a juvenile delinquent? Yeah, okay, all right, all right, all right. Where's dad at? Huh? You see how we keep asking where the black father at? You notice how we keep asking where the black father at? Yeah, that's not an accident. Yeah, even back then, where's his father at? Huh? People say hunk and hip. Where's his father at? Why does it matter? You know what? You like to think that it's only other folks asking that question. It ain't. It ain't. See how we doing this now? Why does it matter? It does matter. Because I'm trying to figure out where he coming from. You telling me he just an angry black male. Why is he angry? Well, his mother strung out on drugs. What kind of drugs? Huh? What kind of drugs is she strung out on? Yes, that does matter. You're asking me to play a character. Oh no, you don't want me playing the character the way the character's supposed to be played. You just want me playing a black character. See how that go? See how that go? That y'all gonna, some folks gonna be like, you always, I'm not lying. You might not like what I'm saying, but I'm not lying. It's just what that was. Okay, well, yeah. Initially, doors were closed. Folks thought he was difficult. Yeah. Until next thing you know, we can't keep them doors closed. No, we kicking them doors wide ass open. Why? Because the details matter. The imagery matters. Representation matters. The love and the loyalty matters. Some of us get it and care. Some of us get it and don't care. Some of us don't get it. It is what it is. So just think about all that. If it ain't on you, who is it gonna be on? So yeah, that's it. I'm out. Hit the like button, hit the share, please, if you don't mind. Thank you. And if you're new, you could be. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe. It's free. Don't cost you anything, right? It just low key helped me do what I'm doing and be able to do what I'm doing. So as we stated before, in memory of the late great Don Cornelius and Chadwick Boseman, I wish each and every last one of you, whether we agree to disagree or not, that's fine. I wish each and every last one of you love, peace, and so we are.